All right, so this is a work day and I'm getting ready to put my garden away. The frost is coming and there will be some things that get to stay. Did you get your gray in here? Dogs are coming. And some things that have to move. So the first thing I'm gonna do is move my mulch pile all the way out so that I can start building a new mulch pile and not have to worry about like turning that dirt anymore. So I'm gonna get the last little bit out and then start a fresh pile with some of the stuff that's like creeping along the back fence.
And there is that. The corner is cleaned out. Happy dogs on the outside of the fence. And I put it down here so that this area was really thin on soil. My topsoil was pretty thin, so I'm looking forward to covering that up. You can see I got cardboard right next door. And now I have a place to put new incoming green foliage. So next, I'm going to cut back my bell peppers. I've heard that if I cut them back and mulch them in, I might actually be able to get them to come back next year. So I figured I'd give that a try, and no harm, no foul. And then I'm going to mulch in some with straw. Yay, fall garden. I have to admit that I'm a little bit sad about this because some of these little guys are still growing peppers, and it took so long for them to get here that I'm a little sad. They're so healthy and they actually seem to be thriving in my cooler weather, which I thought peppers were more hot weather. But I'm going to take any little fruit that I can because I figure we could see if that tastes good anyways, and then cut them back. And I think I'm like right on the bubble on whether I can weather these over or not. So I figured we'd give it a try. Some of the people who are weathering them over live in California, and we're one zone colder than California, but I kind of live at the base of a mountain, so typically around here, when everybody else has snow and freeze hard, we're like just a pinch warmer. I mean, we'll still get our freeze, but it'll be just a pinch warmer. So I'm kind of hoping that that will be enough to make a difference here. And you know, and I am only like 250 feet above sea level where I'm at too. So it's pretty, even though I live only about 1.5 miles from Mount Hood, where it's super tall, mountainous, whatever, the hill right above the hill, the elevation change between here and the top of the hill is quite a bit. So we will give it a try and I will let you know. It would be quite a deal if I didn't have to restart my peppers from scratch next year. That would be a big deal. You guys saw me fight the slugs, so if I could get them up and going before slugs invade, that would be great. I'll get you on. So I got one bale of hay done, and I'm gonna lose my light. So I'm actually gonna do something that I heard about called Kokedama, which is where you do root, you take up a plant by its root and then you plant it in a basically moss with string wrapped around it. But instead of using moss, I'm gonna use a bag from my chicken feed, and I'm gonna do it to my tomato because I have a friend who said that she took her tomato and she pulled it up by the roots and she hung it upside down in her greenhouse, and she had tomatoes all the way until February. So that was my son Sam. He's archery practicing. I'm going to get his straw bales in just a little bit, which I'm kind of excited about because that might be enough to get me through for the winter. And at the end of this video, my one son got an elk and my husband got a deer, harvested, hunter family, and so I'll put pictures of those at the end. So if you're a sensitive one and you don't want to see that kind of thing, then you can bail before we get to the end, but otherwise, so see, there's a reason why we need property boundary plants, because the road and the neighbors' funky property. But thanks, Sam. Thanks for the straw bales. Taking one for the team, right? Yes, the ducks are his, which they're doing amazing over here. Let's see if I can get them in the shot. Scarlet runner beans are still going like mad, and I'm gonna harvest out all of this stuff now. I'm kind of looking forward to the clean slate. See, duckies, they're so happy over here, so cute. what we look like, and it'll probably lose my light before I get my Kokedama tomato style done, which I'm kind of playing with that. And we'll see what that looks like in my greenhouse. And if it works, you know, it's kind of fun. I also insulated in with the straw my stubby okra plant. The slugs got it, and there was just no sparing it. So I'm gonna do the same thing I'm doing with that with the peppers. If it comes back, it comes back. I feel like it's a gimme if any of it comes back. So I must kind of like to live wild and experiment. This crazy garden experiment. It's so funny. Came to visit me. They came in my garden, so I made some water for them, and I figured they can't hurt anything while I'm in here. So I'm going to be working on the tomatoes pretty soon here. I'm not sure if I have enough time today. And I'm gonna pull up the rest of these and harvest the little winter squash that I have left. There's even a delicata in there. But before I do, okay, so this is the tomato bush I'm gonna try. See how it's still loaded with big ripe tomatoes, and none of them are really molded out or split or anything. They're gonna disappear when the frost happens. But it's too tangled on this. So what I'm gonna do is dig this out at the base, leaving that intact. And then I'm gonna put the root wad in here. I added a little bit of compost dirt in there. And then tie it up and turn it upside down and see if I can get it from here to the greenhouse without destroying it. Okay, greenhouse hanging, whatever the name of that was, Kokedama, something like that. Not very pretty, not your topiary delight. But if I get even one, I think it would be fun. And actually got one I noticed in the middle here that's kind of turning. So, but most of these are just straight up green. So if any of those turn before the frost and the rains wipe them out, I'll be happy. And I just hung up a fuchsia basket. I'm not sure there's enough light in here to see it. Well, we'll skip that for now. And one of the other things that I'm going to do, so here's my actual tomato plant that's in here growing. Carrots, lettuce, and I actually ate a cucumber off of my little cucumber plant that's back here, but I don't know that I'll get any more. We'll have to see. And more carrots here. Some blueberry starts, my lemon tree, which is just a baby. All kinds of fun stuff. But this is my only heat source for now. Just a light bulb, a heat light bulb, but it seems to, my goal is to keep it from getting hard frosting in here. So we'll see if I can actually do that. First year in the greenhouse, and somebody needs to fire the janitor. You know how that goes. More projects.
And it happened. The frost came. Look how sad it is. Isn't that terrible? Melted and nasty. I probably could have chosen to feed a few more things to my critters because they're done. They're very sad. Noodles or the beans are soggy. Everything is gross. And it's time. But my broccoli and Brussels sprouts are still doing good. And the calendulas are still blooming, which I think is fun. And all my seeds, the seeds are doing great. Check this out. I don't think I can turn this camera around on this. Look, yay. Carrots and radishes. All that stuff still coming along. So this is an update that's gonna go on the end of my last video where I was so optimistic and I thought those beans would have a little frost resistance, but no, they don't. Do you wanna see an update on my beautiful scarlet runner bean hill? You know what, I didn't think about it, but those seeds are probably not good anymore. I was thinking that I would be able to wait till they dried out, but now they've been frosted. Look, good thing I picked some. Yeah, oh, maybe I can still. Are seeds viable if they've lived through a frost? That is a question I'm legitimately asking. Help this girl know.
All right, from here on out, I'd like to give you a few fun updates with my family and with the garden. So these two, Liz and Mark, just had birthdays. She is now 15, he is now 17. And volleyball season is ended. We did really well all the way up. Had a really powerful battle for our last game, and then now she's on into basketball. And at the end of this, I'm going to put the reminder in again that I will be posting those pictures of this son's successful elk hunt and my husband's successful deer hunt. I also got to take a fun trip to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where it was snowing and it was so cold, but I really enjoyed my group time with my friends. I'm also going to be considering adding this spring chickens to my chicken pen that will make multiple colored of eggs in my egg basket because I think that's fun. Here's a picture of the watermelon I got to harvest. And these are the zinnias that I had blooming all the way up through the first week of November. And look at this critter I had to catch and figure out something to do with. And here is those hunting pictures. That's my sister-in-law Liz, my son Mark, and my husband Tim, who were all successful. Makes for a great venison roast on the barbecue. My son Sam has been cooking them, and I think it's the best meat that I've ever had, ever. Like serious gourmet. I'm really new to this YouTube thing. I would absolutely love it if you followed and subscribed and gave me some comments. And there were a couple questions along the way, so if you had answers for those, help a girl out. See you around. See you next video.